There are many other questions, but I've chosen to speak some of these because I think maybe some of these are important for the to have some sort of direction, I guess.
有很多问题送到仁波切这里来，不过他选了一些他觉得比较重要的，可能回答了以后会让我们对于采取什么方向会比较清楚。
So we talked about the motivation of making offerings in general and especially to the bhikshus and bhikshunis.
我们谈过就是供养的发心，就是对一般的供养的发心，而且是特别对于比丘比丘尼供养的发心。
Of course, I've said this repeatedly that it should be really coming from veneration towards the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha, and therefore the Sangha is object of the worthy object of homage and offerings and veneration.
但仁波切提到的是说，我们真正这个要尊敬这个佛法僧，那因此作为这个僧团是值得我们去礼敬的团体。
I'm guessing that a person who asked me this question, I'm guessing that this question comes from quite a, what do you call it, worthy subject to speculate.
仁波切在猜想问这个问题的人是觉得这个问题值得去考量去猜测。
Okay, maybe making offerings to the Buddha and Dharma probably is clearer.
那可能在供养或者是尊敬佛跟法上面是比较清楚的。
But Sangha, especially in the mundane world, at the end of the day, Sangha is usually human.
那可是对于僧团来讲，那僧团因为都是在世俗世界里，都基本上都是人类。
And we ourselves, we are human.
我们自己也是人类。
So it is possible that between two human beings, you also develop a certain relationship. So it may not necessarily be motivated by veneration towards the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha.
因为你也是人类，所以可能会跟这个僧团的对象呢产生某种人类之间的关系，所以这个关系就不一定是经由这个礼敬或敬重佛法僧而来的。
And these are something that is so individual. I cannot really give a clear clarity on this.
这都是非常个人化的，所以仁波切没有办法给一个非常清晰的这个答案。
It is possible that you may be making an offering to a specific Sangha or some Sangha just because they are human and therefore you have developed a certain human level friendship. They are charming, they are friendly, they are helpful, etc., etc. So, is that, consider offerings to the Sangha? Perhaps not entirely, because there is a human negotiation involved.
那可能为什么会没办法那么清楚的回答呢？因为可能我们跟某一位僧人或者是某一个僧团，由于是 建立了某种人类之间的关系，可能比如说他们很友善，或者他们很迷人，或者他们很帮助我们等等的，所以我们这样去供养他们，或者是礼敬他们，所以这样子的状况底下，我们不能说它完全是因为这种关系，不完全是因为我们礼敬佛法僧而产生的。
This is not a recent issue. This kind of challenge existed long before.
这并不是近代才有的现象，这个很久以前以来就有。
At least on the Vinaya level, the Sangha, members of the Sanghas are quite visible.
Quite
visible. You can tell who is sort of bhikshu or bhikshuni sort of.
那尤其是从这个戒的方面来看呢，比丘跟比丘尼是很容易认出来的。
Now the tantric yogis are obviously a very important sangha.
那当然，密乘的这个瑜伽士呢，也是僧团很重要的一份子。
And as popularly sort of assumed, tantric yogis are not always an austere ascetic.
那当然，大家也都很清楚，这个密乘的瑜伽士呢，大家都假设他们并不是所谓的清戒的这种修行者。
So today, if you encounter a billionaire who drives around with a solid gold limousine, but who is actually a tantric yogi of the really excellent quality.
所以今天如果你碰到一位亿万富翁，他开着一个纯金的车子跑来跑去，可是他又是一位这个很高的密乘瑜伽士的话。
And let's say you are a aspiring tantrika.
那你是假设你是一个想要成为这个修行密乘的人。
And then you also see renouncent, monk who is really, simple, who is like a real genuine renouncent.
那可是同时你在那个时候也遇到一位这个戒行清净处理非常单纯的比丘。
And maybe at $1 that you can afford, should you offer that to the monk? That may mean a lot. Maybe it's a lunch for this man, the monk. Or should you offer to this yogi driving in the solid limousine, who for $1 is really won't be, covering anything?
那假设你身上就是有这么1块钱可以去供养，那你是要供养给这个刚刚那位比丘，对他来讲可能就是1顿饭的这个收入，还是你要供养给那位瑜伽士开着金车子的，对他来讲这1块钱大概没什么用。
And let's make it more complicated.
我们把它弄得更复杂一点。
Let's say there is some really hungry, Haitian, who is really hungry, and for him or her, this $1 could mean a week's lunch.
那我们把事情搞复杂一点，还有另外一个角色出现，是一个非常饥饿的海地的难民。那这个1块钱对他来讲，可能是1个礼拜的这个吃东西的钱。
Now, this is really in your hand. What kind of practitioner are you?
那所以这都是在你的手中要决定的，你是哪一类的修持者。
It's so much. This is your choice, which is the choice that you make on understanding the view, and therefore the practice.
所以你的选择是根据你对于见地的理解，然后跟你的修持。
And let's make it more complicated. Let's say there's a lot of journalists who's about to take photographs of you.
那我们再把它搞复杂一点，假如这个时候正好旁边还有很多新闻记者准备要照相。
You can win a lot of good reputation by you giving this to the Haitian hungry person, but your reputation is forever doomed if you offer that $1 to this limousine driving billionaire.
所以你的名声呢，可能会变得很令人赞赏。如果你把这个1块钱给那个饥饿的海地难民，可是如果你给这个，你的名声也可能被摧毁了。如果你给这个开金车子的人。
Okay, so these are quite important and deep questions, I would say.
这是非常重要而且非常深刻的一个问题。
But generally, I would say, just make an offering with the motivation of awakening all sentient beings.
那可是，一般而言，人们就会说，我们在供养的时候，就要有一种发心，愿一切众生得到觉醒。
The second question here is, what are the proper ways to offer to the monks and nuns?
第二个问题，在这里的第二个问题是说，供养给比丘、比丘尼的正确的方法是什么？
Now, of course, the motivation is the, paramount.
那当然，这个发心是最重要的。
I don't think the person who is asking this question is talking about how to fold your palms together. Should you bow or not? I think, that's just a cultural thing which you can do however it fits.
人们现在猜想说，这位问题发问的人，并不是在问说你应该怎么合掌啊，你要不要鞠躬啊、礼拜啊等等，因为这个都是一些文化上的这个议题，你自己可以解决。
These are kind of difficult again.
这个答案又是有点困难。
Actually, I forgot. My mind is everywhere. I was saying that this challenge exists long before.
人们现在说这个挑战呢，其实很久以来就有了。
I mean, currently, even in places like Bodh Gaya, some of you, those who have been to Bodh Gaya, you may know, there are a lot of these monks, like so many. Suddenly, there's a ratio of the monks have gone up.
那诸位，可能有些人去过菩提迦耶的人，诸位去过，就了解说有很多这个比丘在那里，而且突然有一个比丘增加率非常高。
And many times people tell us those are really fake monks. They actually every time there is a ceremony they will just wear a robe, and then during the summertime when there's no other devotees in Bodh Gaya, they are all plowing field.
有人就会说：“哎呀，这里面好多都是假和尚。当这个有这个法会的时候，他们就披个袍子就过来了。那如果在夏天呢，没有什么法会的时候，他们都在耕田的。”
They may, during the winter, they're all sort of reciting some, refuge and stuff like that in Pali, but, maybe actually they even belong to different religion, so on and so forth,
那在冬天呢，他们就会用巴利文呢念这个皈依文啊，什么等等的。那甚至有些人说，他们根本就是另外一个宗教的这种人士。
These are very difficult. I myself have faced a lot of difficulties. Sometimes I make offerings to all the sanghas, and then, so far, lot of us just decided to make offerings.
人们就说这个是很困难的问题，他自己也供养给这些这个僧团，所以有时候他就会决定就供养吧。
There's a very nice story in the Jatakamala Sutra.
在佛本身经里面有一个很好的故事。
When Shakyamuni Buddha was once upon a time a blue lion, I think Sharaba.
有一世佛曾经是一只蓝色的狮子。
Beautiful blue fur.
它有非常漂亮的这个蓝色的毛，鬃毛。
Many hunters wanted to get this fur, but because the lion so scared everyone.
很多猎人都想要得到这个皮毛，可是因为是狮子，所以大家都很怕它。
But it is believed that this lion was very, very sort of lion has a special sort of feeling towards anyone who looks like monks and nuns.
可是据说这只狮子呢，对于看起来像和尚或者出家人的人呢，会有一种特别的感觉。
So a hunter wore a yellow robe and hide bow and arrow underneath the robe.
所以有个猎人就披了一个袍子，装作自己是出家人，然后把弓箭藏在里面
，and killed this lion.
那就杀死了这一只蓝色的狮子。
And in the Jatakamala Sutra, it states that actually the Bodhisattva accumulated like incredible amount of merit just because the Bodhisattva respected the symbol of the renouncant.
那经里面是谈到说，这位菩萨就是佛的前身，这蓝色的狮子，因此而积聚的无量的功德，就因为他对于这个代表出离者的这种象征有非常非常大的前进性的关系。
Well, that's one. Another, I guess, the person who's asking this question is also talking about, because many times in big monasteries there are a lot of monks who are probably not really matured, young.
那刚刚这是一方面的答案，另外一方面呢，可能会谈到说，在很多大的寺院里面，有一些出家人事实上很年轻，也还不成熟的。
And should we, offer them a smartphone which may lead them to TikTok?
那我们应该供养他一个手机，结果让他跑去玩这个 TikTok 吗
？Which then may open the door for things like Blackpink.
那这个可能会对他打开这个 Blackpink 的门。
And then, so on and so forth, right? Like, so what do we do then?
等等的这样子，那我们怎么办呢？
That's actually kind of small.
这个事实上是一个小问题。
I'm sure some of you, those who have read some of the things that I've wrote, I think I've written this. The wealth is actually much more of a challenge for the Buddhists in general and especially, renouncants' wealth.
人们解说这个，他曾经在写过，就是说谈到这个财富事实上对于一般人来讲当然是挑战，可是对于出离者是更大的一个挑战。
It's a much more tricky.
这是非常困难的一个问题。
People get so like what do you call it? Get so worked up if a renouncant have some sort of sexual scandals.
那这个一般人对于出家人如果有这个性的丑闻的话，会很激动，很受不了。
That's much easy.
那个比较容易。
Because in order to practice dharma, you don't need sex.
因为要修持佛法呢，你并不需要性。
But in order to practice dharma, you need to eat a little bit, right?
可是为了要修持佛法，你需要吃点东西。
And for that, you need a bit of a wealth.
那为了吃点东西，你需要一点财富。
So this one is very inconvenient thing. It's really that.
所以财富这个是一个很困难、很挑战的一个问题。
And it gets really complicated because I think the people who make offerings sometimes they're very devoted, but the devotion also is a little bit maybe overshadowed by, like naivety, not thinking about the consequences. But also, we don't want to also dampen their enthusiasm.
当然，另外一个状况是说，有一些很虔诚的人呢，他们在做这些事情的时候，有被自己的一些幼稚啊，或者是不知道这个事情的后果所蒙蔽。那可是我们又不希望去浇他们对于这种前进心的冷水吧。
Yeah, these are the inconvenient truth of being in the samsara. What to do?
那这就是身在轮回之中的这个不方便的真相。
Like ideally, all those who follow the Buddha, they follow the Buddha, by really analyzing through reasoning, right?
那理想上，所有的追随佛陀道路的人都追随这个道路，经由这个理性的分析而来的。
If people come to Buddha Dharma because they see logic, they see reason, that would be the most ideal.
如果大家来到这个修持佛法呢，是经由逻辑跟理性来的，那这是最理想的状态。
But if you are asking me, if people come to Buddha Dharma with a complete blind devotion, personally me, I'm going to close one eye and half.
如果你问仁波切说有人来到这个修持这个佛法，是因为完全是盲目的信仰的话，仁波切说，对他个人来讲，他会闭一只半的眼睛来接受。
People who go to the temples just to burn an incense and then, pray for good examination and stuff like that, I think it's good. To me, I...
对于那些去到寺庙里面，然后烧根香，然后祈请考试可以考得很好的人，而且他是觉得可以接受这样的事情。
So I'm just giving you as an example. So it's inconvenient truth. There are few inconvenient truths. I think it's good that people ask these kind of questions. So this is why I'm also putting some effort in answering. I think it's good to discuss.
那就是刚刚讲的这些都是所谓的这种，好像一种翻译叫做不方便说的真相嘛。那当然这些拿来谈是好的事情。
But to sort it out, how do we sort this out? It's impossible. I don't think so.
可是要把它清清楚楚的有一个解答呢，是非常不可能的。
It's really, really individual.
都是非常个人化的。
And I'm sure many of you, those who know Mahayana, you will know very well, like Vimalakirti, for instance.
诸位对于大乘有了解的人都一定知道这个维摩诘。
Would you make your offering to Vimalakirti, or would you offer to the Shariputra?
你要供养维摩诘，还是要供养舍利子？
No, that's really, you have to think now. You have to make decisions.
所以你要做个决定，你要思维一下。
So I hope I have managed to answer this. These are important questions, and I don't think we should claim that there is a one answer. I think these are the questions that need to be asked again and again. 我
也希望回答了这些提出来这些问题， 我们不能说我们对这些问题有一个绝对的答案，可是我们应该一而再再而三的问这些问题。
And then I think that's it for today. Yeah.